also who's a threat to peace. The Chinese army, or the People's Liberation Army, the PLA as they call them, is issuing new threats. It is again talking about taking Taiwan by force. And this is a serious threat. Today, Beijing launched an aircraft carrier in Shanghai. It is called the Fujian. This is China's third aircraft carrier, also its largest and the most advanced warship yet. Beijing conducted a grand ceremony to launch the Fujians. China wants to make a statement with this one. This ship, the Fujian, looks a lot like U.S. aircraft carriers. In fact, it's quite similar to the Nimitz and Ford-class warships of America. Makes you wonder if this is another Chinese imitation piece. Did they build this ship, or did they just copy it? We're not waiting for an answer from Beijing. They're showcasing this as proof of China's growing military might. What is this warship capable of? No official word, but lots of observations from experts. They say the Fujian is a direct challenger to America's biggest warships. It can launch aircraft faster and more effectively. This includes planes with heavier payloads. The aim is to challenge America's dominance on the high seas. China has painted a slogan on this warship in Mandarin. This is apparently the mission statement for the PLA Navy. We have a rough translation. This is what it says. To build a strong and modern navy and provide strong support for the realization of the Chinese dream of a strong military. To realize the party's goal of strengthening the army in the new era and build the people's army into a world-class army in an all-round way. China is also sending a message through this name, the Fujian. This warship is named after a coastal province in China, and this is not just any other coastal Chinese province. Fujian is in southeast China. It is the closest Chinese province to Taiwan. If China decides to invade Taiwan, Fujian can serve as the PLA's launch pad. The Chinese military is often seen conducting drills there. So naming this ship, this warship, the Fujian, is not just a symbolic move, it is a strong signal of intent. The Chinese defense minister has made some threats as well. His name is Wei Fengyi. He was in Singapore recently for the Shangri-La dialogue. This is an intergovernmental security dialogue. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was also present there. The Chinese minister chose this occasion to send a message. He said, fighting for Taiwan is the only option Beijing has.
If anyone dares to secede Taiwan from China, we will not hesitate to fight. We will fight at all costs, and we definitely will fight to the very end. This is the only choice for China. Definitely will fight to the very end. This is the only choice for China. I want to make it clear to those seeking Taiwan independence and those behind them, the pursuit of Taiwan independence is a dead end. Stop the delusion. Soliciting foreign support will never work. They should never think about it.
All right, Shalom. This is Howard 1 by Yesha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakak Wadash, Ma'amaf, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders, Shalom to Akim, Nakwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be based on the power shift between China and the U.S. All right. Of course, we heard about recent talks of China preparing to invade and take Taiwan because they see that America and the NATO countries are trying to snatch Taiwan away from China. All right, when it's actually on the Chinese coast, so it's part of China. You know, like literally. And years ago, after World War II, America, there's proof out there that America recognized Taiwan as a Chinese state, you know, or country, or province, you know. So So now all of a sudden, they're saying that Taiwan is a free country, and they can even pull away from China completely. So now China talking about going over there doing an amphibious invasion, and now they put out their aircraft carriers. All right, and they started bringing the aircraft carriers on the scene after World War II, if I'm not mistaken, because I think in World War One they had around 1914 and 1918, World War One, they had something called cash cows, where people like Kaiser Wilhelm, the ruler of Germany, known as wasn't it Abaddon in the scriptures, Apollyon? All right, the destroyer that destroyed Europe, destroyed his own country, really. But they had something called cash cows, to where these planes that they brought out, spoken of in Revelation 9, where it speaks about the planes that would drop missiles. They started bringing missiles into the scene, and they would drop missiles. And they had also had something called the peekaboo bombers. You know, you heard about that. That would hide behind the clouds. They would peek out, and they would just jump out and just start bombing shit. Well, these cash cows were known as submarines, or even that would come up out of the water to refuel, and then that's when they would get destroyed. You know, Germany. That's how Germany lost the war. And they would catch them while they were refueling. All right, so now a lot of the ships, nuclear, a lot of the ships, aircraft carriers, submarines, they're all nuclear powered now. All right, so they can go year round, or you know, some of these submarines without coming up to refuel. And then so this made them bring in something called the aircraft carriers. All right, the aircraft carriers were air compressed, released. They would shoot off missiles like that. All right, even from the submarines, but then they switched to nuclear. All right, or even submarines, now they have a release to where through air compression they get pushed all the way to the top of the water. You know, from the submarine, they shoot out, go up to the top of the water. Once it hits the top of the water, the rocket kicks in, and it takes off. So all this happened after World War II. And then you had all these innovations. And you had the aircraft carrier. They brought that in. Initially, it could only hold a few planes. But then they made it nuclear powered. They made more space on it so that the planes could fit on it. You know, more aircraft. So now China just released a statement a few years ago that it can easily hit American ships out in the ocean with an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, which will shut down their aircraft carriers, and they'll be able to attack them. All right. So what they use the aircraft carriers for is to carry the planes with nuclear payloads or heavy payloads, and carry them over the water and create a kind of like a military base on the water. All right. So now China has created a huge aircraft carrier that's super wired up with technology, modern technology. All right, AI technology, advanced technology, and it's huge, like the U.S. Nimitz, what do you call it? You know, and it can handle multiple. It can go up against multiple U.S. aircraft carriers. All right, and a few things that stuck out to me is, the first thing she said was, this is going to disrupt the peace between them, you know? And you got China, they say, yo, Taiwan belongs to them. So what they said, those those waters over there, trade routes, that's a trade route that America uses. And really, they didn't need it, but they were using it, that trade route over there near Taiwan, to show support for Taiwan, all right? That they will always back Taiwan. But now, China did something where a few years back, a lot of y'all remember this, where China actually built islands out of sand. They just started dumping sand on the ocean floor and built their own islands out there around Taiwan. So they said now that those waters are not international waters for trading, those waters belong to Taiwan, and nobody can pass through it. So once they take Taiwan, they're gonna shut down them waters, man. And it could be a full head-on war with the U.S. Or the U.S. can create another proxy war through Taiwan by giving them, supplying them with weaponry like they're doing with Ukraine. All right, because America needs these wars so they can get backing and help from Europe, because you got the dollar crash and the economic crash right around the corner for America. As they go down, they're trying to pull every country they can with them. They're trying to do something I said a while ago called land grabs. Everybody's trying to grab what they can. And these other nations are winning. Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Brought this scripture out a lot this week, man. Verse 5. Sit thou silent, get thee into darkness. You know, so America is not going to have any clue of how to get out of these entanglements that it's getting caught up in. You know, in the destruction. All right. And these nations, they're being advanced with innovations in technology and war. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms, right? Because America is no longer called the Lady of Kingdoms, man, the ruler of these other nations. So they're losing their power in the earth. This is Jeremiah 50:22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction, right? Because all these nations, they're starting to form alliances against this place, the daughter of Babylon. Just the other day, China and Russia announced their protection of each other in their current distresses. Jeremiah 50:23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right. So America is becoming a desolation, ultimately to be destroyed. All right, because let me get this. All right, Isaiah 14:9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, right? So they all getting prepared for that war, man, that meeting with America. That they know they're gonna meet head on, man. As America's moving forward with their plans for Europe, the Chaldeans, you know, spiritually, those elite bankers. At that same time, China, Russia, Iran, they're all preparing as well. All right? And getting ready for war. So hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, man, because they know America's coming. They know America's how America got established and how they want to continue to reestablish their strength in the earth. But um, the, uh, the daughter of Babylon in the U.S. has lost its strength in the earth, power, losing its power seat in the earth. All right. All right, so hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, man. They know America's coming over there to try to manipulate and divide and conquer and take Taiwan and take Ukraine. But he said, what? It stirreth up the dead for thee. Talking about these nations. China's among the dead, the heathens. So the Lord gonna destroy them as well and put them in slavery. Because they want to be the next rulers on the earth. They want to be just like America or even better. They want to be the new whore on the earth. They have the leading bank right now, the leading currency under the dollar, because the dollar is still the world currency. That's the only reason it has power. They got the biggest military, I think 200 million men. All kind of technology and stuff, man. Gold to back their currency and oil. The U.S. cannot compete with that, man. It stirreth up the dead for thee. So the Lord is stirring up these nations. Even as all the chief ones of the earth, like Xi Jinping and Russia, Putin, it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations, man. And that's something, man. So the Lord is raising up these China from their throne to get ready to fight in Russia. All they shall speak and say unto thee. So they're all going to speak and say to this place, the daughter of Babylon. They're going to say it together. Art thou become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? So America's becoming a third world country. All right. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Meaning, this place is going to be rotted out until it's completely in the dust, confusion, and brought low. All right. So they're going to be brought down to what? To hell, to the grave, to the ground. That's what it means. All right. I just brought out Habakkuk 2 yesterday. And it speaks about this place, man. Let me get it real quick since it's on my spirit. Because that's what's happening right now. And these nations are seeing it. They're seeing the shame of this place. And it says here, Habakkuk 2, and 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. See, through their pride, that's what make them think they can do it all again. Neither keepeth at home. See, it's a prideful nation, man. Neither keepeth at home, being busybodies in other men's matters. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, man. See, bringing hell upon earth. The Lord is stirring up hell against this place. And is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right, through that greed, through that pride, trying to take Taiwan, trying to take Ukraine now, that's going to be their downfall. Shall not all these take up a parable against him? See, all. They go all again. All these nations will speak against this place. And a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So America's in all this debt and China owns, I think, 1.7 trillion of America's debt. So at any moment they can show up to collect. You know. So now it says what? That's what these nations are saying to America. Art thou become as weak as we? Shall not all these take up a parable against us? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? All right, so they're going to be for the taking. All right, I'm going to shorten this lesson so I can move on. 2nd Ezra 15:46. Now let's get to the point. And thou, Asia, whoa, now look at this. That's right, man. Verse 40. The great and mighty clouds shall be puffed up full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place and horrible star. We know that star, according to Revelations, is wormwood. All right, that star is going to be called wormwood, which is going to destroy all the waters around this place, America, causing it to be radiated and poisoned. All right, and it's going to destroy parts of the land. Now that could easily be some type of EMP, you know, going after the ships in the water. You never know. But it says verse 41. So they're going to hit this place with a horrible star, wormwood, fire and hail and flying swords, that's the missiles, and many waters. See that? There's going to be fights out there in the waters. That all fields may be full and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities and the walls, mountains and hills, trees of wood and grass of the meadows and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. Just like Ezekiel 38, it says Russia's going to think an evil thought and say, let's go up to the land of unwalled villages. All right, so all these nations are going to be gathered against this place, Babylon. They shall come to her and besiege her. Right, it's going to be a land grab. They're going to say, we coming to collect. We're sending the dollars home to roost, and what we want to buy is all of the land, even though they're going to destroy it ultimately. But dealing with the banking part of it, China owns basically all the major parts of America. They own the West Coast ports. They own Wall Street. Anything that can have a lease to it or a mortgage, they own it. When they send them dollars home to roost, that debt, the debt, DEBT, that's going only thing they can buy with those dollars is all the land and the property. So they're going to own it. It says, so they're going to go steadfastly unto this place and make it afraid, man. Just like America's over there creeping around in their backyards. They shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. All right, that's that star wormwood. So they're going to pour out their missiles upon this place. So forget the land grabs. They're going to be looking to destroy this place. All right. I was just speaking about their options. But Russia, they're going to have it in their mind. They're not going to regard silver or gold. Their whole intention is going to be the destruction of this place. Then shall the dust and the smoke go up to heaven. What's that? The mushroom cloud. And all they that be about her shall bewail her. That's Revelation 18. All the nations are going to see the smoke of her torment going up. and they're going to bewail her. All right, people like Taiwan, they're going to see America getting destroyed. You know, even Ukraine, Japan, they all going to see this place being destroyed. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear, man. So Taiwan going to be given to China. And Ukraine is going to be given to Russia. All right, America is about to lose everything. But check this out. And thou, Asia, I'm talking about China today, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon. So not all Asia, but those nations that seeking the power seat, just like America. And art the glory of a person, right? Because the Lord said he's going to meet pride with pride. So China is lifting themselves up in their brigandine as well, in their pride, and their, protection and riches. It says, so they are the glory of a person, man. Just like a woman. I was at her, talking about Babylon, the lady of kingdoms. But her, it said, thou art the glory of her person. What's the glory of a woman? Her hair. If you look at a woman that has a lot of hair, her hair grows faster than her. And it's nothing but dead cells. So that's what China has done. They have increased in the earth with dead things as well. Vanity. So they think they're the next powerhouse, the next rulers. But the Lord said China's just going to be a wash pot. Basically scum of the earth, man. A low, wicked nation. Cooking rat, cat, and dog and feeding it to the children of Israel. Oh, and thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person, right? China pegged this currency to America. They have the biggest shipments from China over here to America. So that's what helps America stay established, is their deals with China. They got 70% investments from China. All right, so it's really China that's been keeping America afloat with the low cost of shipments, but now through the tariffs and basically taxation that they're putting on these trades with China. Now China put tariffs, sanctions on America. So they're doing a tit for tat, and they copying them. They mimicking everything America does. America made Disney originally Disney was supposed to be a whole nother state down in Orlando, and they were setting it up for Esau, for the elites to go to. But America created Disney and Mickey Mouse. China created Disney and their own version of the Mickey Mouse and all that. You know, America has their dollar. China has their, yuan. You know, America have hip hop. China got hip hop. Y'all know how it go. They copied off everything. So they rode America's back like a damn skateboard. All right, and then they jumped off this damn ship while it's sinking. So woe be unto thee. So the Lord is saying this, just like he said this, in Ezekiel 38 with Russia. The Lord said, even though I'm about to use you, I'm still against you. All right, just look what the Lord did with Nineveh. The Lord used Nineveh against us, but he ultimately destroyed Nineveh. He used Babylon against us, but he ultimately destroyed Babylon. He used America against the children of Israel for slavery and judgment. Now he's going to destroy this place and come against them. He's going to use China to destroy America with Russia, but ultimately he's going to destroy China and Russia. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch. It's a wretched place, man. China. It's called the wash pot, scum. Because thou hast made thyself like unto her. See, they want to be sitting in the power seat. And has decked thy daughters in the whoredoms, man. You know. And they made deals with the dollar, their business, and their idolatry and atheist country. That they might speak, please, and glory in thy lovers. All right, so through China's affiliate nation or proxy nations that they deal with, they took America's business and spread it through these other nations as well. They helped to strengthen this place. So the Lord said, yeah, you're going to be destroyed right with it. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters with whoredoms, that they might please and glory in thy lovers of the other nations, and their idolatry, idol worship, which have always desired to commit whoredoms with thee. So they have always desired to be under China, really. But a lot of these places, they want to operate freely. It says, thou hast followed her. What? America come out with aircraft carriers? China come out with the same duplicate aircraft carriers. America make TVs in the microwave. China make 100 TVs compared to America's one in microwaves. So thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. So in all her works in the world, you know, through their wickedness, and also in their business. And also thou hast followed her that is hated in all her inventions, man. So the Lord like, I hate you too. You a twin. What the hell? You copied off of her. You copied off of the one I hate. So you're going to get the same judgment as a nation. All right? So China has followed America in all its works and inventions, just like the MOTB. You got that whole situation out there with, you know, the bat situation, so-called, you know, facilities. You know, the thing we can't talk about on YouTube. Now, it says here, the inventions like what? The aircraft carriers as well, you know. Therefore, saith Yahweh, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence. And we're seeing part of the pestilence over there. And we're seeing that their economy's failing as well, because they got to do away with that old currency. It's a new world order. They're going into they said for this new era, a new world order, America wants to strengthen its military might in the world by brandishing their weaponry now and their aircraft carriers that can carry bigger planes with bigger payloads and more planes. All right. So I will send plagues upon thee, upon China, widowhood, poverty. Right, a lot of men gonna die in the wars. Poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, man, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower, right? Kahalayim like Bashim Yahushua. There's a flower that's blossoming right in front of our face. And these elites think they're going to use China as the forerunner against America. And they want to use Russia as well to destroy this place. So that would mean China would be the next ruler if the Lord wasn't to show up. All right. But the Lord says, what? Their power is like a blossoming flower. It's blossoming, but it's going to be dried up. Like heat hit it, like you hit it with a heat blast. All right, so we seeing China advance in the world, become a dominant figure in the world. And we're about to see their power. But the Lord said that's about to be dried up with the heat. The heat shall arise that is sent over thee. That's called pressure. The Lord gonna put pressure on them. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, right? Because they're gonna be prepared to go into slavery. That's what the Lord preparing the Moabites for, to go into slavery. All right, but that nation is gonna be hit real hard in this world war. So that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. So, so it's gonna be that bad over there in places like Taiwan. I was just saying, for example, but these other nations, they're not gonna be able to help China from the spanking that the Lord is about to give them. And this actually takes me into my next lesson, because at some point the Lord is gonna bring out Leviathan to destroy these aircraft carriers and submarines. Psalms 104 and 26. There go the ships. We seeing the ships. And there is that Leviathan whom thou hast made to play therein. So, hey, man, that's going to be my next lesson on Leviathan, Yahweh Ratazah. These all wait upon thee, that thou mayest give them their meat in due season. What's their meat? It's going to be these heathens and 2/3 Jakes that's out there in this war. And these ships, all right? So the Lord got Leviathan to go against these ships, man, the chariots of the Lord as well. So this is about to get crazy. All right, I'm going to end it with this one. I did a lesson last week through the Spirit of the Lord, and it said, I will raise unto Babylon fanners. And the word fanners just means foreign nations, all right? That's going to what? Fan this place, meaning what? Ultimately destroy it. Jeremiah 50:9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, man. All right. And what's in the north? You got Russia, and a little further over you got Asia, all right, which is south of Russia. And they shall set themselves in array against her, man. And they all creating their alliance now. Look, China's with Russia, Iran's with China and Russia, North Korea's with Iran and China, and Russia. Turkey's playing the middle, but they ultimately going to side with Russia. Saudi Arabia, they're trying to make deals with Russia. The African Ethiopians, all that gold they just found over there in Uganda, I think it was, they all going to try to make deals with Russia and innovation deals with China, and they try and break away from France. So the Lord is doing it, man. He's setting up, and China's just one of those nations, man. We're going to hear about all these nations preparing to go to war with America. I will raise and cause, so the Lord is raising them up from their thrones, hell from beneath, is being stirred up to meet America as they move forward and try to hammer the earth. I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations. So they all going to be assembled like Voltron against this damn place. From the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. And it's happened in ancient times with the Persians and the Medes. All right? That the Lord brought up against Babylon. They came from the north. But spiritually, it's a reflection of what's going to happen today. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. That's what we wait. That's what I'm waiting to see, for all these nations to be chain linked together, and that's when we know the Lord has done it completely. We're seeing it. We're seeing them step forward. We're seeing them brandish their weapons. We're seeing them make technological deals in trade and weaponry and military, and promising allegiance to each other and protection. But what happens when they all stand together and we see it on TV? All those nations standing in unity against America and NATO. All right, that's gonna be a very prophetic moment. From thence, why? Right, this is why. From thence she shall be taken, and their arrows shall be as a mighty, expert man. None shall return in vain. All right. So, hey, man, so they're going to be using AI technology and being controlled. They're going to be like men of war set in battle against this place when the missiles are set in formation and shot on their trajectories. And they said, the Lord said, what? None shall return in vain. All right, so that's what America's doing. They're poking at the bear. They're poking at China now. They're poking at Russia, the bear. They're poking at Iran with the nuclear deals. So now the Lord is raising them up to make their moves against U.S., the daughter of Babylon now. So China just brandished its aircraft carriers that can completely take out the U.S. aircraft carriers, all right? And it's like a duplicate of those. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.